Okay, let's move to street patterns. Our street patterns, we have names of the street patterns and so on. Characteristics, advantages, disadvantages as well. Okay, the name of the street pattern, as you can see here, we have grid run or rectangular pattern. Okay, a rectangular street pattern. Okay, a grid run. Okay, we have radial, we have irregular, but let's start discussing about grid run or rectangular street pattern. The characteristics, the roads intersect at right angles. You can see that it's in a straight line. It's in a straight line. They intersect at right angle. You can see as I go down, there is a right angle that is here. There is a right angle in this corner. So the roads intersect at right angle. Advantages: it's easy to plan. That's number one. It's easy to plan. Land divided easily. Easy to find ways. Yes, it's easy to get lost, easy to find ways. For instance, this is mostly used in our cities, bigger cities here in South Africa, like your Durban, like your Cape Town, like your Johannesburg. More especially, they're using grid drawing pattern. Okay, because they're tall buildings and so on. It's not even easy to get lost. Okay, because of it's it's in uniform way. It's easy to find ways and so on. Disadvantages. Everything is its own advantages and disadvantages, guys, mind you. The traffic congestion, there is traffic congestion. For instance, if you are here, you're moving down, you want to go down here. How many robots are going to stop you? Because there are also cars that are coming that way, going that way, cars that are going that way. You see? So there is more traffic congestion and so on until you come outside. Monotonous, yes, accidents and so on. Okay, those are the disadvantages. Radial, let's discuss radial. Roads radiate outwards from a central point, so the roads radiate outwards from a central point like a spider web. Okay, yes, from this central point outside. Okay, outside, outside. Okay, yes. So advantages: it's easier to flow of traffic. Okay, it's easier to flow of traffic. There's no traffic congestion and so on. Okay, yes, it's easy, like to flow the traffic and so on. It's easy, it's much easy. It's easy flow of traffic. All roads lead to a central point. Okay, all roads, even if you want to come in this central point, if you want to come here in this central point, whether you're coming from this road or from this road, you are going to find a central point. You're just going straight without turning. Okay, yes. Disadvantages: there's a traffic jam. Yes, it's not there's traffic jam. Yes, traffic is slow. Okay, as you know that if there is a traffic jam, the cars are moving slower, so the traffic is slow. Wasted space, there is wasted space. As you can see here, there is availability of space. You can see, yes, availability of large space that is wasted. Okay, yes. Okay, let's move to irregular street pattern. Irregular street patterns state that there is no clear structure. Okay, there is no this is its characteristic. There is no clear structure. It's just there and there. You know, it's unplanned, as you can see. It can be planned or unplanned, but mostly it's unplanned, as you can see. Okay, the advantages: it improves traffic flow. That's irregular pattern. It improves, meaning that the traffic flow is fluent. fewer intersections. There are fewer intersections, meaning that you just go without distracted by any robots or cars that want to join your own road. It accommodates topography. It is mostly used, as you can see in your topographic map. So it accommodates topography. Disadvantages: it is difficult to plan. It's easy to get lost. Yes, it's difficult to plan this. It's easy to get lost. You can see if you are here, you are driving, maybe you want to come maybe here. You see, it's unplanned. You will turn, man, you'll experience many turns until you arrive, meaning that you are going to get lost. You know, yes, it's easy for you to get lost. As you can see, not easy. It's easy to get lost, yes. Not easy to expand or subdivide. It's not easy to expand irregular pattern, street pattern, or subdivide. Okay. Okay. Let's see on our map these kind of patterns. Okay. Yes. Let's see on our maps. As you can see, grid pattern on triangle slope older. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is a grid pattern. You can see it's not it's easy to find ways here. If you want to come maybe at Calc at a church here, maybe let's say you live next to this school. You see, you just drive, and just turn once. Just go straight and go. You'll find church. You see, there are no many turns and so on. It's just straight and forward. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's how it goes. Okay. Right now, let's discuss urban profile. So, urban profile, this is the view of an urban area from the side. Okay, we are viewing the urban area from the side. Urban profile takes note of the height, so the height of the building, the density of the building, and land value. Meaning that as you move away from urban area, the value of the land becomes lower. But as you move from away, as you move away from urban area, as you move from rural area, I can say, to an urban area, land value it increases, but from urban area away it decreases. Okay, let's go down. Why does the height and density of the building decreases as you move further away from the city center? Okay, so as you can see that this is the CBD, of CBD here, where the rural areas there. Okay, meaning that as you move from the CBD, from the Central Business District, okay, CBD stands for Central Business District, guys. As you move away, you can see you meet your transition zone, your industries, going back to rural areas and other residential areas. Okay, yes. So as we move from Central Business District away, the buildings becomes lower. Okay, becomes lower, and the land value is decreasing. These are the fundamental things that you have to know. Okay, let's go down. Okay, as you move away, there is cheaper land in industries, as you can see, in transition zone. There's lower density of buildings, as you can see. There are small buildings here. Horizontal buildings, the buildings are now starting to be horizontal, to be long horizontal. Not just like in the city. You wouldn't find the skyscrapers in industries and transitional zone as you move away from the CBD. They are industries, as you can see. They are residential. Okay, people are living there, residential zone and so on. In CBD, the land is very expensive. In central business district, in the city, in the common core, the core of the city, the land is very expensive. As I said, there is competition with the businesses and other companies. High density of buildings. You can see the buildings are not horizontal, they are vertically long. Okay, they are vertically long. These are your buildings, they are vertically long. Okay, the buildings are vertically long. Yes, so they are long and they are high density of buildings. Yes, this and this much similar. Okay, vertically and high density, meaning that as they are high, there are many floors that are in there. There are offices. Okay, maybe you'd find in this building there are offices, as I said, commercial, making more money, and so on. Let's go down. Okay, land use zones. For land use zones, let me use black. For land use zones, you should know we have Central Business District, which is the CBD. These are land use zones you see in the side. Okay, you must all know them. We have industries where we industrialize or process our raw materials. We have residential area, the area where it lives employees, people next to CBD. We have commercial, the area that is just right next to the CBD. It's kind of part of CBD. For instance, in Durban City is a CBD, Central Business District, the Durban City. At Tegwin, it says CBD. Then as you move away a little bit, maybe let's go to Morningside. Morningside, it's a commercial zone. Okay, and we have a zone of decay. This is whereby this is the area whereby the buildings are left there by people, where people have moved from that particular zone to Central Business District. Okay, for jobs and so on and so on. Okay, so that's why it's a zone of decay. There's no one there. Buildings are just have decayed and so on. Rural urban fringe. Okay, we have rural urban fringe. Rural urban fringe, these are the areas in urban areas that have characteristics of rural areas, such as your golf courses, your stadiums, and other places. Okay, we're going to discuss them. Okay, so land use zones, as we discussed, CBD, where, okay, let's start about discussing CBD. A CBD, where it's mostly accessible. You can even, if I can give you a map, you can even see where the CBD is. You can see many buildings, tall buildings, grid run pattern or rectangular pattern. You can just name them. Hey, this is a CBD. You can just point them. Where transport routes meet. Okay, this is where transport in the inner city. Okay, yes, it's in the inner city. That's the Central Business District. As I said, it's a city center. Okay, characteristics: highest land values. There's highest land value in the CBD. There is highest building density. As I said, there are higher buildings, there are tallest buildings, skyscrapers. You find them in the CBD. Concentration of shops and offices. There are more shops and offices in the CBD. High order commercial functions. Okay, they are high order commercial functions. They are high functions that are making money. Okay, yes, that's it. Okay, guys, now let's move to land use zones. Okay, now let's move to land use zones in of industries. Okay, yes, as we already discussed in the, of CBD. Land use zones for industries, we have light industries, okay, and heavy industries. Light industries are the small industries, and heavy industries are the big industries that industrialize or processes big materials. Okay, the light ones are just small, like clothes. Okay, yes, small industries and the processing clothes. Where you find them often near CBD or residential areas. Okay, in planned industrial estates near road transport. Okay, for to be easy to transport these materials that are being industrialized or that are being processed. Okay, manufactured. Characteristics: the legal noise and air pollution in light industry. Okay, there are no heavy machinery. There are no heavy machinery. Okay, because there are small material that is being processed or is being used or is being made or is being created to make other products. Okay, so there will be little noise and no pollution at all. Okay, yes, no heavy machinery. Like for instance, the machine that we use to make clothes. Okay, yes, doesn't make a lot of noise, doesn't make air pollution, or there is little noise or little air pollution. But in heavy industries, where you can find them on outskirts of the city, in the cheap land, because they are big. So if they are big, you must take them into the cheap land. You must build them in the cheap land because they will cover up a large amount of area. If you are going to build them in an expensive area, meaning that you are going to pay much money because they require more large amount of area or much land or much land. Okay, near major road and railway networks to easy to transport these goods and services that are being manufactured. On flat land, they are big and they must be on flat land. They also need water, so it must be near a river or near a dam. Okay, yes, that's how they even pollute our water. That's how these heavy industries pollute our water. Okay, yes. Okay, there is lots of air. These are the characteristics of it. There are lots of air and noise pollution. Lots of air pollution and noise pollution. Imagine when making those grinders, grillers, those big machines that are making cars, those big machines that are making this and this and this, these big products, okay, such as cars. So they are dangerous. They might explode anytime. Yes. So there are lots of air noise pollution because they are big. There's more carbon dioxide that is released to the air. Okay. Yes, that's how it goes. Okay, let's move down. Okay, I think you can see in our map that we have the factors that influence the of industries. Okay, you can see in order for you to place your industry, you must look for these features. Okay, must be near the river. Okay, water. It's one of the one that is influencing so that you can receive water. to work. Okay, yes. Market for delivery and so on. Too easy for the markets to take the products from your own industry. Level, as you can see, it must be in a level way. Okay, in a jungle slope. Okay, yes. Around raw materials, you can see it's around a farm. It's around cultivated lands on this map and so on. Okay, so it's easy. For instance, it's easy to take this maize to manufacture on this industry to this industry. Okay, yes. We have power lines, long power lines. We need some energy, some electric energy to manufacture our goods and services. So we have to get some power. Okay, labor, around labor, so that at least you can get some employees. Okay, yes. Transport, along roads to easy transport the goods and services. So all of these industries are nearest these features: raw material, transport, water, level, market, labor, and power. So they're influenced by them. Okay, yes. As you can see here, we have level, raw materials, water, as in rivers, labor, people who are going to work, power, power lines, electricity, transport, along roads, so it's easy to transport goods and services, and market. So for these shops to buy, to be nearest to your industry, to be able to buy these goods and services. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's move to land use zone, which is residential zone. Residential zone. Okay, so land use zone. Let me use red. Okay, it's in the middle, A, middle to high income. Okay, this land use zone is middle to high income. B, you have low income, and C, you have informal segments. These are the people who are getting paid better, and B, these are the people who are receiving low income. At least they can uh, benefit some or afford some. Informal segments, these are the pure people. Okay, so residential, we have middle to high income people who are living there in that particular residential zone, which is found where? Away from CBD, away from the central business district. It has a good view. Okay, it has a good view. You might find they are there, staying there. Okay, they are staying in big houses, in big apartments. Yes, so so it goes. The characteristics of middle to high income, it's that the larger properties. Okay, the larger properties, as I said, good services in terms of roads, good shopping malls, and so on. Okay, yes. Recreational areas. There are recreational areas, well developed recreational areas, and so on. B, the low income residential area where people live there, as you can see in the picture. Picture shows. Uh, we say ngovezinyawo RDB houses. As you can see, all of the houses look the same. Okay, yes, or houses to rent and so on. So they're closer to the CBD for them to save much money to travel to work. Okay, maybe most of them are working on the CBD. Okay, yes. Characteristics: houses are close together. As you can see, there are fewer facilities, lack of basic needs, and so on. Poor services, as I said, lack of basic needs, lack of infrastructure, poor roads, and poor transport. Okay, smaller properties. There are smaller properties. You can see the houses are small, but in middle to high income people, they are having big apartments, as I said, large properties and so on. Informal settlements. Informal settlements, these are the squatter settlements, the squatters, imikuku. Yes. So they are situated on the city outskirts, far from the city. For instance, for example, in Cape Town, the Cape Town CBD is a central business district, and you'll find that people are living in these squatter settlements around Cape Town, the Khayelitsha, as I named, the Kukuletu, and then end. Okay, you'd find that they are very far from Cape Town. Okay, that's why it's on the city outskirts. Okay, this is an example of it. Okay, so yes, they are very far from the city. Okay, you'd find that some people who are staying there are working on the city. Okay, most of them are working in the city of Cape Town. The characteristics: houses built of plastics, woods, zinc, and other materials. Okay, yes. So people, they just build by their own hands because they don't have money to buy houses, they don't have money to rent, they don't have money to buy the material so that they can build the house. Okay, yes. So they used plastics, used woods and zinc, as you can see in the picture. Unhealthy conditions. You see, these settlements, squatter settlements, are close to each other. There's poor infrastructure, lack of medical facilities, and more people and fewer clinics. Yes. So there's unhealthy conditions, as you can see. If this settlement gets into fire, they are all around affected. That's how it goes. You see, this includes the unhealthy conditions. Okay. Yes. The spread of diseases. It's easy to spread diseases around and so on. Okay. Yes. No service delivered. As you can see, the fact that their physical segments are built by plastics. Okay, there are no even RTP houses and so on. No water sanitation. You find that in others there are no toilets. Yes. There is poverty. These people are very poor and so on because they have no money. Crime. There's high crime rate. High crime rate in squatter segments. As I like to make an example of Cape Town. There's high crime rate. Okay? Yes, there's high crime rate. Note, ban. There are also positive characteristics. Okay? There are also positive characteristics in these areas. Okay? Yes. So, as there are also positive characteristics, there is a lot of talent in people who are poor living there. There's a lot of positive things that you can take out there. There are good people living there. Okay? Although there is high crime rate. Not all people are committing crime. Some fewer people are good. There's good in them. Okay? Yes. And mostly, and far foremost, more of the artists in Cape Town, they are in South Africa, they are coming from these squatter settlements. Their background is so hard. It's not easy. Okay? They grow up here and so on. So there's a lot of talent, music, dances, um, being creative, making things, and. Okay, that's so many. Okay, let's move down. Okay, guys, let's move to land use zones, commercial. Okay, okay. So this is a commercial zone. Okay, CB, Central Business District, the commercial heart of the city. Okay, This is the central heart of the city, and this is the city of Cape Town. Okay, as you can see here, Table Mountain there, upside buildings and other skyscrapers available. Okay, so this is to decentralized to shopping malls like Canal Walk. Okay, yes, decentralized to shopping malls like, for instance, let me make an example. Make PEP to be available in a shopping mall. Okay, making a Pick and Pay to be available in a shopping mall. Make a sports scene. Make your yes, all of these shops to be available in the same physical location. Okay, in the same building, which is called a mall. Okay, yes. So this is decentralized to shopping malls like Canal. Okay, yes. Okay, let's go down. Let's go down. Okay, so land use zones. Okay, let's say land use zones, zone of decay, transition zone. Land use zone of decay, we are talking more about it right now. Where you find it? You find it just outside the CBD. You find it just outside the CBD. Let's say this is let me just draw here. This is a CBD here. This is a CBD. You would find the zone of decay here in the CBD, in the outside the CBD here. You see those old houses, those old buildings that are not even painted and so on. Okay, yes, outside the CBD. There are mixed functions. There are residential living there, which are living in lower rents. Okay, yes, lower rents, commercials, and there are light industries. Okay, yes. It has decayed buildings. As you can see, this building has been decayed. There is renewal. There are renewals that are made there, maybe by government or by people who are living around, or people who are responsible for that, or private sectors. There is valuable land because it's very close to the CBD. Okay, there's valuable land, meaning that. How to manage as this is decayed, because people have moved from these buildings to live in urban areas, in the city, in the CBD, Central Business District, leaving these buildings unattended. Okay, how we can manage that? We can renovate, paint, put on shops again and again. Renewal, renew is same, is much similar to renovate. Okay, renewal, put new things, new stuff, develop. Okay, yes. Reduce housing density. Yes, reduce housing density, not put more houses and so on. Okay, on top and the top, like make simple houses and so on. Okay, yes, that's a zone of decay. That's how we can manage it. Okay, let's go to the next page. As you can see, we are still on the zone decay. This is showing us. Okay, this picture is showing us a residential area. You can find it here. We have a real map here, which is on auto photo, and we have picture that is showing here. You can find this shop, it's industries, industrial park, renewal, and so on. Okay, so you must also take a look on this. Let's go down. Okay, right now let's discuss rural urban fringe. Okay, this is the land use zone. Okay, as I explained that rural urban fringe is whereby a part of urban area has some characteristics of rural areas, because whenever you go to an urban area you find that, oh, there are people who are exercising some farming, there are people who are doing this, sport grounds here, the available land, and you can see, yes. So land use zone. Okay, The land use zone you find on rural urban fringe. That's the land use zone for it. Okay. Yes. We also have a map here that shows us rural urban fringe. Okay. Yes. The stars are showing, the red stars are showing functions in rural urban fringe. We have where you can find them on the edge of an urban area. Okay, you can find them far away on the edges of urban area, far away from the city. Okay, characteristics of it: urban functions invade rural areas. This is by urban functions they evade rural area. This is whereby a rural area has become better now. Okay, having some urban functions, both urban and rural functions. Okay, it has both rural and urban functions. It has um, good looking properties, big properties. Um, it has better housing, better schools, better infrastructure. You know, it is highly prioritized even by government. Large properties, as I said, because of cheaper land. Yes. So yes, as I said to you, as you move from a central business district until you arrive in rural areas, the land is becoming cheaper. But as you move, it's a vice versa. As you move from rural areas to city center, to the heart of the city, central business district, it's also known as CBD, the land becomes um, expensive. Okay, so since there is cheaper land in rural areas, meaning that people are going to use a large amount of land to build their properties. Okay, yes, that's how it goes. So that's what the line says. Plots and small holdings. Airports, you can find airports there in rural urban fringe. Cemeteries, power stations, golf courses, sewage works, and others, guys. You know, there's so many. Okay, yes. So let's go down. We have rural urban fringe of power. Okay, we used power to show rural urban fringe. Okay, I think you can see the CBD of power. This is the CBD of power. Okay, this is the CBD of power. This is an urban area, I can say. Okay, an urban area of power. This one, which I've drawn a red line on it. Okay, yes, of which a red line is a red dotted line is already there. Urban area. So let's look at the urban fringe. The Palm Mall is on the urban fringe because it requires a large amount of land. The golf course is required a large amount of land. It's away. The land is cheaper. Okay. National road becomes bigger now. Your N2 maybe, let's say, yes, or your N1 or your N4 or your what. Any kind of national road. Small holdings, a power station. Okay, maybe an ESCOM or what. Cemeteries, cricket field, you know, yes, these are the rural areas. Okay, yes, so this is a rural urban fringe of power. You can see that it is on the edges, far away from an urban area of power. Let's move down. Okay, this is a map. Okay, this is a map, a very same map that is showing us that is the same as this one. Okay, yes, so this is a map of it. You can see that the golf course is away. It has large amount of area that is covered. Okay, that is taken. The golf course. So it's far away from a CBD. It's away. It's not on the CBD. It's on the edges. Okay, it's away. So the industries are away because they take large amount of land. Commercial as well. Residential. You can see here. The residential away and so on. So revisit this map, look at it roughly and see what's happened. Okay, let's go down. Okay, let's move to models of urban structure. It's easy, guys, and straightforward. The very first one here that we have, it's concentric rings around the CBD. Concentric rings around the CBD. Okay? Yes. So I can also say this is kind of a top view of the more of urban structure. Okay? It's a top view, I can say. So as you can see here, we have a CBD because you can see your high density buildings, and tall buildings. The buildings are close to each other. Okay? Here, the following one is other zone, other zone, other zone, and other zone. Okay? Yes. So as you can see, as you move from the CBD, the buildings are becoming smaller. The buildings are becoming far from each other. Okay? Yes. So as you can see that we have a sector on this side and multiple nuclei, the centers around which activities grows. This shows that, as you can see, these are the sectors. Sectors radiating from the city. You see, this is the city center, this is the city, and the sectors are radiating, okay, from the city center. Okay, guys, now let's discuss urban settlement issues. Okay, in urban settlements, people have moved from rural areas to urban settlements, to urban areas, I mean. Meaning that in urban areas, there are many people, and let's look at these issues that are affecting urban settlement. Okay, so number one, we have congestion. Congestion have its causes. We're going to be discussing its causes, its effects, as well as solutions. Urban decay, overcrowding as well. Okay, yes. So we have congestion, we have urban decay, we have overcrowding. Okay, yes. So in terms of congestion, what are the causes of congestion? Congestion is because there are too many cars on the road. That's congestion. That's the definition of it in terms of this particular concept. Okay? Yes. So there are too many people using their own cars. That's a cause. Meaning that these traffic congestion are caused by too many people using their cars. If people were not using their cars, there were few cars, there were going to be few cars on the road, meaning that there will be less congestion. I think you understand. Not enough public transport. People are not using the public transport because there is not enough public transport. They might willing not to use their own cars to use public transport, but there is not enough public transport. That is going to make them to continue using their cars. So there will be um, congestion again and again. Okay, old street pattern. The old street pattern. There's no renewal of the street pattern so that we can fight against this congestion. Okay, yes. Effects. Effects is the air pollution. Using many cars, we are polluting the atmosphere, and therefore we are promoting the global warming. We are promoting the global warming, which is going to also affect us. The, um, the droughts, average increase of temperature around the world, people are going to feel some discomfort, some uncomfortable hot conditions, and yes, there are more accidents because of using many cars. Many cars, more accidents. Less cars, less accidents on the roads. Stress, health problems, road rage. People are fighting in the road. Yes. Health problems. We're using many cars, polluting the air, so we're going to have challenges or going to experience respiratory problems. Okay, we're going to have stress because the car is moving slower and so on. Yes. Okay, so the solutions of all of this, we can improve public transport. Okay, government must buy more buses, more public transport. Okay, yes, to transport people around the an urban area. Lift schemes as well is much similar to it. Decentralization of businesses. Okay, we have to decentralize the businesses. Okay, put businesses in one own area. Okay, yes, you can also find business in the internet and so on. There's no need for you to drive your car to the city. You can just buy from businesses online to take a lot and so on. Okay, decentralized businesses, put the businesses on the internet. Yes. Synchronize traffic lights. The usage of traffic lights must be prioritized. Okay, let's move to urban decay right now. This is where part of the city are overused. Okay, yes, this is where part of the city or are overused. Okay, this is why you find out in this building many people are staying here. Okay, it's overused, it's being vandalized, being not people are living there, are not taking care of those buildings. People who are managing those buildings have moved to the city. Okay, so that's called urban decay. The reason there are too many people living in the city. That's number one, the empty buildings. Okay, so people who are living in these zones, they have moved from these zones to the city. So leaving buildings alone, leaving buildings empty. Okay, yes. Effects. The slums develop, service decline because there are few people. There are poor services now. Increase in population. Increase in pollution, meaning that if there is increase in pollution, people are polluting there. There is no municipality or there are no works to take care of the pollution. Government is not taking care of the pollution that is made by them. So that's why the service has declined. Okay, a few people take care of the pollution and people there don't care. Area becomes dirty because of more pollution. Let's go to the solutions of this urban decay. We can renovate them. You can see the buildings, they look better. We can do something about them. Okay, at least they can do better. Okay, we can renew, introduce new methods of developing this urban decay. Reduce housing density. Make it sure that okay, in this house, let's build proper houses. Let's decrease housing density. Okay, improve services. Improve services. Consult government about this renewal so that there must be also basic needs that are being introduced. Okay, yes, just like before. Okay, okay, let's move to overcrowding right now. Okay, overcrowding, this is too many people moving into the city. As I said to you that people all of the people in these zones have moved to stay in the city, meaning that there will be overcrowding, and their places are left empty or left with few people. Okay, what are these causes that make these people to move and be overcrowded in the city? There is high demand for land in the city. That's number one. As you know that there's high demand of land in the city. Too many people living in the city. There are too many people living in the city already. So there are other people that are moving there too, okay? Causing this overcrowding. Effects. What are the effects? Increased pollution. Many people are burning fossil fuels. Many people are driving cars and so on. So there will be increased pollution in the city. There will be a pollution dome. Okay? Yes. Health problems. Since there is a pollution dome, you know a pollution dome, this is trapped heat as well as trapped mostly air pollution. Okay? These pollutants are trapped. It's not healthy to breathe or inhalate. Okay? These bad pollutants. Okay? Yes. So these are going to cause health problems such as respiratory problems. Okay? Yes. And asthma as well. Destruction of environment. The environment is going to be disrupted, not going to be healthy, and so on, because there are many people. Okay? Production of too much waste. There are too many people using products, and therefore there will be too much waste. Okay? Let's go to solutions. Decentralization of functions. Let's decentralize functions. Let's make people to work at home. Okay? To remain stay at home, to remain in rural areas, work there at home. Okay? Develop those rural areas to have some access to internet so that they can be able to work and apply for jobs online. Okay? Yes. There are green belts. Okay? Let's introduce green belts in these urban areas or in the city. Since we're banning more fossil fuels, more people there, let's introduce green belts. Let's plow more trees. Let's plow more vegetation. Okay? Yes. Let's make some flowers. Okay? Yes. So if there are more green belts, this means these banning of these carbon products, okay, the carbon is going to be trapped or taken by these green vegetation because they need them for the process of photosynthesis and give off more oxygen into the environment of the city. Okay, so that's the purpose of green belt as a solution. Solutions also stricter control of pollution. Okay, government must be also show some care. Okay, stricter control of pollution. No one is going to pollute. No one is allowed. There must be people who are employed to look. There must be security people who are employed to look for people who are dumping products in the down the area. Okay, no one is allowed to dump. Okay, in the city, they must dump in the dustbins, not in the land, not in the roads. Okay, not just everywhere. Okay, yes, there must be a stricter control to prevent the what? To prevent the pollution. Okay, yes. Okay, okay, let's. Okay, so let's move to urban settlement issues. Okay, fundamental and informal settlements. Okay, mind you, I said to you, informal settlements, these are the settlements that are not planned at all. Okay, people just come and put their settlements that are used of plastic, wood, and the zinc. Okay, what is it? That's a question. Good, a very, very good question. What is it? Sometimes illegal settlement of makeshift dwellings made from scrap materials. These are the informal settlements. So this is the definition for informal settlements. That is going to be required for you to write down during examinations. Okay? So please guys look close to this. So sometimes illegal settlements of makeshift dwellings made from scrap materials. Okay? Where is it? This says, where is it? On the edge of the city, as we already discussed that, on the edge of the city. Sometimes can be up to 30 kilometers away from the city. For instance, Kailicha, maybe it's 30 kilometers away from the city, which is in Cape Town, from the Cape Town CBD. Okay, that's an example. Lack of infrastructure, okay, or maybe Kayamnan is 30 kilometers away. Let me use Kayamnan to be much possible, okay? Yes. The problems of these informal settlements are what? And how we can manage them. There's lack of infrastructure there. So if there is lack of infrastructure, government must build these RDP houses for these people, okay, living there in the informal settlements. Government has responsibility, okay? Yes. Because these are our people too. No proper sanitation there. Government, no clean water, no electricity. Refuse removal. Okay. This basically means that there is no basic needs. There are no basic needs there. There's no proper infrastructure there. Okay? So government must introduce proper infrastructure there and better their buildings. Build instead of their shacks, they must be removed and build proper housing such as RTP as I said. Introduce roads, develop and upgrade the streets, not to be small. At least people must not be close to one another. The buildings must not be close to one another, and so on. Introduce electricity. People must get access to electricity, and okay. Lack of amenities, and this one I think we have discussed in this one. Okay, yes. Fire. If there is fire here, if there is fire in this part, all of them are affected. Okay, because the buildings are close to each other. Yes. So to improve that, let's move, okay, them away from each other. Okay, yes. High population density. As you can see in these informal segments, these shacks, they are close to each other and so on. There are more people living there. High population density. Okay, so in order for us to manage that, government must buy land and build houses, new houses for these people to live there. So take other people that are living there to introduce them to new houses, okay, to new areas and so on. That's how we can manage it. Okay, that's how it goes, guys. Thank you so much it was a very, very long lesson. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video. More content is coming, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers.